Morning, peoples. I'm on my own because, Michael isn't here. I don't know where he is actually. I thought he was going to be in today, but he's not. We're going to wait for LJ to come in and occupy and help me out with the stream. But I'm going to post, let me 2 seconds while I post this in the group. Well, I didn't expect, so I've just come into the office, didn't expect the markets to actually look like this on the open over the Asian session. Like, it's been absolutely crazy. Markets are, let me put up a chart. Okay. So if we have a look at everything, you've got gold up 2%, Kiwi up 1.25%. You've got euro already up. I'm looking to take a short on this, actually. As you can see, could be a very, very silly decision, but that is that's what it looks like at the moment. It looks like we've had a massive push up. Even in we've had such a deviation as well from the EMAs. All I'm just looking for is a retracement of this particular move. Where that will take the retracement will take it down to that 50 EMA. I don't know if I'm going to get in. It looks like it might just push up just a little bit more. I might have missed the move. I don't particularly want to get in right here, but we will see what happens. Let's put some music on as well. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Also, Euro AUD, that is also an interesting looking trade. Reason being, we've had quite a nice base in this area of demand, and since then it's just found a lot of support. We broke out of this range, as you can see right here. Now we're coming back onto it, and there you go. You can see we're starting to find a little bit of support. Now I'm looking for some momentum maybe to come in on this particular trade. I'm not in this trade yet, but I will be keeping an eye on it. Obviously, I'm looking to short euro, so going long here. I don't know if that's something I want to do, but I'm going to keep that in mind. So I'm just going to mark it as green. What else? EuroCAD, let's have a look. Pretty much they're all doing the same. Obviously, you've got some that are just in terrible ranges. Like, I'm staying away from these ones. Euro USD, that's what we're waiting to get in on. I think it is finding a little bit of support, so maybe we can get a tapped in at that 50, and then a push down to this area of demand, which would be a really, really nice 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. Jatenda, how you doing, mate? Are you trading anything? I know obviously it's been holidays and things like that, so let me know what you've been looking at, mate. Pound AUD, nothing really too interesting there, to be honest. Pound CAD looks quite good. Pound CAD looks really good, actually. Those are the two trades last Thursday. Yeah, Pound CAD looks really, really good to keep pushing up. Would like to see like a bit of a retracement before I actually get in on anything. Oh, here he is, Mr. Magic Mike, and he's black. Don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we're going to go quickly through. Okay, so we've got nothing really to look at on pound CHF, pound yen, not really interested in that. Pound USD, the same thing that I'm looking for. Euro, hello, sunshine. Can't hear you, mate.
What do you mean you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm joking.
I mean, last week we said we weren't streaming today, and all of a sudden you texted me saying we're streaming.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it was a national holiday, like across Europe, across the US, across like everywhere.
Well, I just looked at the market and I was like, clearly it isn't a national holiday for a lot of people because bloody market is moving like crazy. So I'm like,
oh no,
no rest for the wicked. No rest for the wicked.
Don't tell me that it's moving. I was hoping to just try and not trade and not make a fool of myself, and you know.
Michael, last week. Hold on a second. I got someone calling.
Hey, Jatender, how you doing? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Who we got in the chat, guys? Who is up and about and watching us? Anyone else caught off guard by Alex's eagerness? Jonathan's trading gold. What on earth is going on? Jeez Louise. I'm trying to remember, did we? I can't remember if I even traded on Friday. Yeah, we did trade on Friday, didn't we? Or did we? I can't remember now. What happened on Friday? Oh yeah, that was right. I couldn't do a stream on Friday. Anyway, never mind. That's better. So who's in with us? Who is in the chat? Who is trading? Who has something that they want to catch? Let me know. I'm trying to see what is going on with gold right now. Gold has hit 3375, which is a level I had marked out, and just smashing past it. I mean, it's just doesn't care. What is going on? It's crazy markets. God, what's going on?
People trying to sell me stuff, coming after me for £10. Ringing me for £10.
£10. Wow.
£10. Yeah. So to be honest,
what the actual is going on? Why is gold going nuts?
Yeah, yen seems poised to appreciate further against the US, which, to be honest, I don't really see at the moment. Actually, no, I do see at the moment. What am I talking about? Yeah, this is the USD versus yen. We're coming to quite an interesting area of. I'd like to see what happens when it comes down to here. Maybe this would be a really nice play as a revert to the mean type of trade. Let's say if it breaks above here, does something like that could be a really nice entry to the 200 EMA. Maybe. Where I was going with this, Michael, last week you had some really good trading. Your entries were fantastic. So what is the problem?
I'm not. My head's just not in it. Just been a mental week. Super busy weekend as well with the kids and everything. Just Easter and just. I'm not switched on today. I wasn't ready to be trading.
You don't need to be trading today. You can just look at the market.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like you. I'm a little bit.
USD
so
CAD. LJ, how are you doing? How am we?
Good afternoon. At least
Good
for me.
afternoon.
Good morning for everyone else.
Hey, LJ, mate. So let me just point something out, right? This is why I didn't think we were trading today. Albania, Australia, Austria, Barbados, Belgium, Bosnia, Botswana, Brazil, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Egypt, Fiji, Finland, France, Gambia, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, Greece, Guinea, Hong Kong, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Jamaica, Kenya, Latvia, Lebanon, Lesotho, Lithuania, Luxembourg. Shall I just go on? I mean, seriously. literally.
Sounds to me, mate. Like
Everywhere is
they're
closed today.
all missing out. They're all missing out.
Yeah.
That's
Everywhere's
what
closed.
I just heard. Lost opportunity, lost opportunity, lost opportunity, lost opportunity.
London is closed. Like,
Lost.
who in Europe? Who in Europe is trading today?
Us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Clearly
but
someone
still.
is. Or it's just because the volume is just,
Yeah, I'd
Well,
say
I think there was nothing on Friday, so nobody was open on Friday. So I'm assuming that it's just like, okay, let's go nuts. Maybe it's just
could
Asia.
Yeah, it could just be the fact that the books are like super thin right now, and it's not taking a lot to move. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like around Christmas time when you get that thin liquidity and stuff sort of just rolls on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know though, Christmas has always given some really, really, really nice trades.
Yeah, yeah.
Euro
it's like
USD.
momentum stuff.
Let's see. Have you looked at Euro USD?
Yes, I'm looking to short Euro USD. I did have an order in, but just in case I'm getting caught out from looking short.
On the
look
1
to
minute,
get-
I wouldn't short just yet. I think it might come for that level there first.
Is that on the 1 minute? Yes, I do agree. That is where I'm getting short.
Yeah,
Where
only
I'd like
problem
to
is
get
you, it's a little bit.
And then you've got USD CAD that I think is long.
USD CAD. So you think the dollar's bullish?
I think the
It's
dollar is
basically what
having a
you're saying.
retracement. I wouldn't say it's bullish. I'd say it's having a retracement.
Yeah, I'm looking for a retracement at this point as well.
Or we can just all sit on our hands and not do anything. And we can just watch the market. Yeah, it doesn't sound very fun.
What's Bitcoin doing? I haven't looked at Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, let's have a look. I actually haven't had a look at Bitcoin. Altcoins, I didn't notice altcoins. Wow,
We're a slight-
87,000.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's going
I
on?
know.
140 Solana? Excuse me. No, excuse me. What is
I don't know
going
what's
on?
going on. Sui's up
I
6%.
say that this is literally this just looks like a
Sui.
bear market rally at the moment.
Look, Solana's just testing the levels. I don't think it's going to suddenly break out. Indices are down. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just delayed fuse to the Jerome Powell comments. People trying to toss up, do we take this serious or,
Well, it's basically the same as what they treat with Trump, isn't it?
yeah.
To be unfair, when you have a look at where crypto is, look at Shiba, for instance, on a weekly time frame.
I feel like crypto could have bottomed when we had the lows before, to be honest.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
A lot of people will be happy to hear you say that, LJ.
thing is, I don't really feel like getting back into a big position on crypto. I don't know why.
I don't know about altcoins and stuff. That's another question. But Bitcoin, I think it could get a steady bit of flows come back in.
Yeah, look, Shiba looks like it wants to have a little bit of a move.
I'm just looking at USD JPY. That does not look bullish at all.
It looks very unhealthy.
Yes,
That looks like
it looks.
that looks like somebody who spent the Easter weekend eating far too much food and now need to go to the toilet. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks. But those are the perfect. If it does start breaking out at the top of its range and retests and shows a little bit of that's perfect trade, because it's just it's extended already quite heavily.
Yeah,
So
because going much lower, breaking that 140, you have to assume that people are done with their carry trade, which I don't think so.
Yeah, it's coming into a pretty big level.
I mean, it's already in that big level.
Yeah, it's on the level.
So that 140 is kind of the critical area. If you punch that, you're just straight down into low 130s, right? Mid to low 130s.
What are we thinking about USD CAD?
I mean, I don't see it. If I'm honest with you, I don't see it.
I see what you're saying. It's pretty oversold. It's sitting on the edge of the Bolly bands on longer time frames as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get. Into that.
If you're assuming that we've kind of moved and the fair trade is like a pullback, I think that makes sense. So,
I mean, on the 15, it's all right, but I want to see it retest this area first. I want to see it retest that wick, because it's just so much weight behind it. And it started impulsively here at 8 o'clock this morning. So I would just be cautious. And as a return to the mean trade, I totally see it. But it's not. But the moves on the lower time frames are starting with lots of liquidity. Right here and here.
What's Euro USD quickly doing?
Euro USD
Euro
has
USD is pumping
highs.
Wow,
Yeah.
So glad. I'm just waiting. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm just waiting.
Because the question with Euro dollars is like, we broke those prior highs, so it's the highest since 2022 or something, right? So it might actually keep momentum and kind of just pull back a little and then go to 116.
Yeah, spreads are not as good today.
No,
they were terrible on Friday as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, popping a couple things in, but spread on Euro was 3 points. During London session, I was like, okay.
So we're in USD CAD. About 0.75.
I mean, CAD seems to be selling off, so that adds weight to your trade. But so is USD.
But now it's pushing pretty heavily down.
Yeah, I want to see
Euro
I want to
USD.
see.
Go.
Yeah, dollar index is the sort of wick low that we had last week. If you go on the DXY, I want to see us tap that first and then start selling dollar. Because that would mean Euro's probably got another like 10 points higher.
Bro, it's a Monday morning. That is Hamid, that is very true. It is.
Monday evening, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
5 p.m. here. All right.
Yeah.
What did you guys get up to weekend? You probably said this already, but I wasn't here.
On Thursday, I went and had a couple of drinks, a
Likewise.
couple of mojitos. I'm like, I don't know what was in those drinks, but they were very, 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 very strong.
So
They
most
looked
likely
like-
alcohol
They
in
looked
them.
like I looked like your profile picture by the end of them. And then the rest of the weekend, I was just recovering. To be honest, I went to a musical, which was fun, and that's it.
Were you about to say pantomime?
I was going to say pantomime, but that is just I wasn't at a pantomime.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah,
Matt?
mine. Who was that to me or LG?
To both of you at the same time.
Go ahead, LJ, mate.
Oh look, drinks Friday, drinks Saturday, drinks Sunday, and watch the F1.
I don't know
last
how
night.
you. I don't know how you can do it. Honestly, I don't know how you can do it. Difficult.
Yeah.
Quite
I've still got it
impressive.
in me.
Yeah.
Not too old yet.
The thing is, like, I'm younger than you. How I can't deal with it, mate.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I survived. No hangover, nothing. Electrolytes. That's a good one. Every morning. Yeah.
To be fair, I was
My,
like,
my Powerade, my Gatorade. Yep.
yeah. Thursday we were in front of the screen the whole time. I didn't actually eat any food, so I went on a empty stomach.
Oh, so did I.
That
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
help.
It's much cheaper. So, dude, if I eat like no shot, I gotta drink so much. I'm
Yeah.
too much like blood volume, right? So
Oh, we're getting a little bit of a push. Is this going to be the push that takes us to our TP?
what were you up to?
What about
Mike?
you, Mike? How was your weekend?
Mine
Let it out.
was no, mine was all right. Mine was fine. It was well, no, lots of stuff going on with broken coffee machines at the cafe, broken washing machine at home. Got my son's 5th birthday this week. I got my parents and my sister and her boyfriend arriving tomorrow. Just so much going on all at once. And then just the kids just don't sleep. So I'm literally just like running on empty. I came back yesterday from my parents-in-law and I walked an hour to the train station because I was like, I just need some time and space. It was like 28 degrees. I was wearing jeans, boots, and a shirt. And I walked for like an hour to the train station because I was like, I need some time to myself. Sat on this old train for like an hour and a half and then eventually got home at like, I don't know, what was it? About 6:30 last night. And I was just like, that's it. I'm out. Zonked. Done. And then this morning I couldn't get out of bed. I was like, no, not doing it. So
Luckily, no Ukrainian man was got in your way.
Oh, don't.
Oh, mate, I think he would have been in some trouble.
If somebody had come and disturbed me like he did, then all bets are off. All bets are off. In fact, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in a jail cell right now.
I would put my bets on Michael. Michael would.
Yeah. Don't cross me when I'm tired.
Michael Hulk out.
Yeah. Euro USD, I can now see a sell. Like just looking at how it's pumped this morning, not necessarily yet.
Where is my?
I want to see some. I want to see some kind of setup on the 1 minute because there's still liquidity higher up. But
No, I definitely still see it. It's come into a really nice area. The only thing is, I look on the 15. I'm like, okay, it's in support. You know, it's not exactly what. I don't know if it's exactly ready. I think, like you said,
I think it's still going to chop around a bit.
EMAs need to be doing something like that. Just a little bit. I like the CAD a little bit more.
I think the CAD has got legs because the actual CAD itself is weak. If you look at the CAD against JPY and CHF, it's selling off. It's almost down. It's down over 0.7%. So the CAD as a currency on its own is weak, which is fueling that USD CAD. But it's actually down on the day if you look at it as well.
Yeah, that's why I look at pound CAD. That could have been just probably a faster, easier long, but the potential to get a little bit better would be the USD CAD. Potential to get a little bit better would have still been 1 to 2, but I think the trade could have set up like pound or Aussie dollar as well. Also that Euro Australian dollar would have been really nice if I actually got into the trade. That's a really nice trade. Maybe getting into that would be a little bit better.
Yeah, Aussie dollar's coming up to sort of swing area that we've had over the past like months, sort of since the start of the year, or since Trump inauguration.
Yeah.
So either fails from here, comes off, or there's a slightly higher level Aussie dollar on the daily. We've got the 200-day moving average. It's like 75. It's like 50 points up from here.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at that.
Because I mean, everything depends on whether we get dollar pullback or if it just sort of sustains up here, wafts around, and then kind of keeps going.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the Dixie.
Dixie looks like it wants to run on. That's the only.
Wow.
My only trouble with it.
Quite interesting gap. I don't know if that's a gap for everybody or just in my feed.
Let's have a look. What was that on the 5 minute?
No, it's on everything.
Yeah, I've got it as well.
Yeah. So
I don't.
That would be.
Yeah. I think it depends what.
Got a gap as well. You got a gap. You got gaps everywhere.
It's because the futures thing closes for like 2 hours during Asia every day. So that's sort of just when the thing reopens.
Where was I? Aussie, Euro, Aussie.
I think Raf was saying check weekly level in EU as well.
Do you want to check that out, Michael?
Weekly level.
At 115.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah, this is what I marked out.
USD CAD is basically going to take me out.
It did indeed power through it, Raphael. The only thing is that I don't think it. Well, I would struggle to see it just powering through all the way because it's just it can't just power through this area and not retest it. It's just it. I don't know. Well, maybe it can. I don't know. But it's left an inside bar there on the weekly as well. I think a lot of people are just expecting dollar strength to return somehow, and it's not happening. Euro USD might sell now.
Definitely think,
on
yeah, 116s, 117 on the cards for Euro. Not far away.
Actually, no,
Maybe over the
scrap
week,
that.
that kind of thing.
Scrap that. It's not going to sell just yet because it's just broken all of the highs. So it's going higher.
Yeah. So I was saying before, and then the Dixie's still got distance to prior lows from last week.
Yeah, Akram, this is exactly what I said. You know, I thought we weren't even streaming today. Alex is like, you know, gold is 2% up, and I'm like, what the hell? Haven't had a coffee.
Took that.
I'm like,
Took that. Quick L.
You got an L?
Yeah, just took the L on pound on USD CAD. Doesn't
And
seem
yeah,
like-
Void, more so there is no liquidity. That's kind of the trouble. So it doesn't take as much to move prices. So all the orders just get scooped up.
Yeah, I'm closing my MT5. I don't like this. I don't like this price action. It's all a bit too impulsive. My way of trading, I'm not going to see. I'm going to try and get the setups that I think are there that aren't there. So
it's fair enough.
I am sitting this out, guys. But I'll cheer you on. USD CHF could do a pullback.
Okay, so Euro Aussie dollar. That's the only other one that I think is absolutely obvious today. USD CAD took me out, but the only other one, pound CAD, which is already moved, and Euro Aussie, which I think is the better one. USD is done. USD really, even the slight bit of the moment, well, it's probably an outlier, but the slight bit of, you know, momentum just is getting bashed, just getting taken out.
It's just, yeah, crazy. I would be very, very.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry,
Mike.
go on. No, go, mate.
I was just going to say, yeah, 10-year futures haven't moved too much today. Actually up. Probably enough. But in general, yeah, people are dumping US assets across the board. So dollar down in general.
There has to be stuff that we either we are just simply too stupid to see what's going on and to see the genius that is Mr. Trump and his entire plan of how this is all going to play out, or this is like the biggest just disaster of a presidency and their economic policy that you've ever seen.
Well, yeah. The entire goal did revolve around getting rates down, right?
Sure.
Whether you artificially induce that and force the Fed to have to drop rates, that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's whether they're going about it the right way. Because at the moment, like, yeah, if you get the US dollar panic, then rates will end up going up, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
The treasuries.
You know, I just don't understand the kind of like the, what's the word? The kind of they're treating it as if it was an Elon Musk business, right? And just let's just throw everything out and then see what sticks see what still needs to be used, right? Rather than trying to take it, we're talking about the global economy here. We're talking about the world's reserve currency, and they're treating it as if it's like, doesn't matter, it can cope, it can, and I just feel as though if you push and test something hard enough, it will crack and it will fail, yeah,
I think if they just stayed within their own sphere of like government and stuff, it's all right. It'll be the trying to do the whole Fed rubbish that's really going to break it. That just breaks confidence, trust. That's the backbone really of everything. You can have whatever goes on in government. It kind of causes a bit of noise for a bit, but ultimately governments rotate, all that kind of stuff. Things can be pulled back, changed, blah blah blah. As soon as you open up can of worms for the Fed, then that's bad. Because the main thing is not just him doing it. If he was able to remove Jerome Powell, then opens up, it sets precedent for anyone else that wants to do it. And that's the main problem. Then you've actually,
and then you've basically destroyed any potential trust, any potential kind of, solidity behind it. As a, why would anybody want to invest in it if the president of the day can decide, no, I don't like this guy. He's not doing what I want.
Because then it does become like a authoritarian.
I'll be back soon. I'll probably speak to you guys in a little bit. I've got a meeting right now, so
okay.
You go meet.
Yeah, authoritarian dictatorship type whatever thing. Yeah, you can just undo whatever was stupid. Because everyone already knows like government and the Fed and central banks around the world are kind of in cahoots, like obviously. But they've still got enough separation that people are like, okay, they're just in cahoots when we really need it, which is what you actually want, and that keeps the stability. But if you do this, it undermines. It's a final nail in the coffer of all trust. He's already burnt trust everywhere, so not good. Because I reckon if he did actually do it, I reckon the stock market's down 50%.
Oh, easily.
Easy. 50, 60, like...
Yeah. Because it's just, you've literally removed the fundamental, like, foundational pillar on which the entire US economy is built. I did see crypto...
sorry.
Raphael, I did see crypto. Yeah. I did see crypto. Crypto pumped overnight, like my time and your time, I think, Raphael. But it hasn't broken this area yet. It's not to say it won't, but if you look at it, it's still in a downward trend. It still hasn't broken this structure. Break this structure, and then we've got something to talk about. Break these highs, then we've got something to aim for. But it's still below the 200 SMA. Still doesn't fill me with confidence, if I'm honest. I think that's the thing. Nothing does. Nothing fills you with confidence right now. How do you trade that? Like the NAS is selling off again, opening up and just selling. Like the NAS right now, since the last time it touched the 200 SMA actually touched it was last Tuesday. It hasn't touched, it's just been going in a downward trajectory ever since. Right, it sold off heavily on Wednesday, tried to pull back up and it couldn't, and it's now retesting those lows. And those lows have got liquidity down below it, and it still has this huge pump here in this area, and there's still stuff below it. Now, it's not necessarily stuff that they would want to try and get straight away, but when it's in blue, that means I put it there a very, 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 very long time ago, because that was my templated levels from months ago. So let's have a look. When did I put it there? So that's a level from March 23. Now, I wouldn't have necessarily marked it out then, because they've then got another level from October 23. But I would have been marking it out probably around about here when I was doing this. And so we're talking about August. You know, we're talking about coming back to levels on the NAS from, you know, just look at it. It just seems awful. Really, really does.
Yeah, I think
This
we could pretty easily get down there though, because we've
Yeah.
also got the double whammy of like stocks are overpriced as well. Like everyone going on about that. So if you look at through that, like probably need to come off just in general. Healthy retracement. We've had, what was it, like 20-something% year-on-year back-to-back returns, like no dips. And then you add the Trump stuff. Prices now are probably not unreasonable. You know,
Yep.
they're probably still a little bit expensive, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could easily see another 15%.
New upcoming trading event. What new upcoming trading event is that, Akram? Don't know what event that is. But I have an idea that I ran past Gil last week as an idea. Gil, the founder of the Fivers and the founder of ABL and everything else, where I want to try and see if we can do like an educational series where, do you remember last week I was saying about just trading $25 a day? Just set your target of $25 a day and get yourself there. And that's it. And he even had the idea of, if you do more than $25 a day, anything over the 25 actually gets deducted. So you're only limited to 25 and that's it. Which I was like, okay, all right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. But it's an interesting idea.
I get the concept. I also feel like it's slightly antithetical to, I don't know, trading and why you get into trading a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I do understand the concept.
Or maybe there's a way that we could do it, that we could say, right, there's a daily target, and whoever gets the closest to the daily target every day, like, I know that's then turning into consistency, and it's like we said we didn't want to do consistency. But I don't know. Just an idea. I haven't even opened Discord this morning, guys. So let me see what's going on. Thanks. Okay. Interesting. There it is, guys. For those of you who haven't seen it. Trade talks, people are already posting in there. Interesting. Jonathan's already posting his idea. Oh, that's from April 15th. Kev has done one. Interesting. Well, there you go. Anything in the news? Oh, the Russian ceasefire, that worked well over the Easter weekend, didn't it?
Yeah. I feel like that one's expected though. Like,
that's probably what triggered gold, maybe. This morning. So if Putin's basically saying, right, no, we're not going to extend the truce, right then, there we go. Oh, hang on, that also doesn't help. Interesting.
I think it's more dollar centric though. Really.
Yeah, it could be.
Otherwise, you know, euro probably wouldn't be pumping quite so hard, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah, it's still got legs, isn't it? This is where it's not good for me to look at charts, because then I go, where can I find an opportunity?
Yeah.
You know, then I start going looking at strength scores, and I go, ooh, New Zealand USD, ooh, or New Zealand CAD maybe. That would have been a nice trade. No,
yeah, that
sorry.
would have been good.
Other way. That would have been a decent one. But it's like, where do you pick these out on a day like today? I mean, that already feels like it's quite overextended. I don't know how much further it's going to go, because look, it's just going into dead air from end of March. You know?
That's where I feel like you got to go, like daily time frame, find where 200 moving averages or something.
Yeah.
Find those heads. Because that looks to be what like Aussie dollar's doing now. We broke 64.30 just now, so it looks like we'll run to 75, which is where the 200-day moving average is. And then there's going to be a cluster of options levels up at 65 as well. So
yeah. Yeah, that's a massive pump this morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
it
I'm trying...
definitely looks like it wants to kind of keep just bleeding up.
Yeah. I mean, I said it earlier, when was it? End of March. That was kind of what I was expecting to happen. It pretty much did it to the letter. I just didn't expect it to go beyond this area.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, I did think we would get a bit more of a pause, like a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if we just measure this out, right? As okay, let's say 30. All right, let's do his actual inauguration was what? Let's give him no. Where should we give him credit from? Should we give him any credit? Let's do from that week. All right. We are down 10% on the dollar. 10% in 90 days. Right? Now, I do not remember any other time when that has happened. I mean, okay, you could have had that during COVID, for example, but I don't think it happened that quickly.
Yeah, there was stuff around some of the switch ups with Fed moves and tapering of QE and stuff back, 2018, 2016, 2014.
Yeah, I mean,
we had some things like that, and inverse as well, like up 10%, etc. Yeah,
inverse is inverse I get, but to have a drop, you've got to be doing something pretty goddamn awful, I mean, COVID dropped 10% in 120 days. So
yeah, we do also get the like business cycle rotations as well, because still it goes through those periods like way too strong, then has to come off. That is also kind of where we were, like, and then it's kind of like how I was saying with stocks being overbought. Like the dollar strength has been pretty killer for some time, and it is crushing emerging markets and stuff.
And I get that. And I, like Raoul Pal, right, has been talking about the business cycle for ages. So this is something that I was expecting as well. But I don't think I was expecting it to happen this quickly.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so it would have come off naturally itself. It's just they've jumped in and kind of accelerated it with their own, like, it is one of the things where one of the few times we've ever had like an artificially self-induced slowdown or capitulation type thing, which is abnormal. And then it's a question of, can they steer the ship, land the plane properly, or do they go into the trees before they get there?
Crash and burn.
Yeah,
I mean, you're more clued up on the fundamentals than I am. Can you remember any time like this, where it has, like you said, it's been artificially induced and it has been this like violent. I don't know what the other word to describe it is.
Not from the US dollar side.
Yeah.
Definitely. One of the reasons being is obviously, yeah, they do take it very seriously, being, you know, dollar is the backbone of everything. And even the Fed, like, as much as they make decisions for the US, they are always thinking about the consequences everywhere else, because if they do something, it has consequences everywhere else, it then affects them, you know, just coming around, right? So they do have to think about it that way. But yeah, so definitely not from the US dollar side. I mean, we've seen it a number of times from like the pound and stuff, you know, with their fiascos in Parliament and that sort of thing. And, and just like the budget stuff. What was when we had the
with Liz Truss,
Liz Truss, that kind of thing. So
God, that was a disaster. But you see what I mean? Liz Truss did something like that, and she was booted out in no time.
Yeah,
you know, she was the shortest-lived prime minister in the history of the UK because
were they joking that head of lettuce lasted longer? Or something?
Like she was literally like, you know, so bad. They were like, no, this has got to stop. This is ridiculous. I think I feel as though the ends. I don't feel that ends justifies the means for me right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's my view.
Yeah. I mean, the other times you go back are similar to it's pretty much financial crises, any of the other sort of pre-2000s switch ups when we had inflation actually going off, think like 70s, that sort of thing, and then you go like Bretton Woods and the, you know, removal of gold standard, that kind of stuff. That's pretty much the only times we've really had this sort of stuff. Maybe late 90s when we had again the dollar pushing up, and you sort of had coordinated dumping of US dollars, and then the euro coming sort of on board, which is what sparked the euro coming to life. I
think the struggle is that you've got this superpower of the US that has been built up over years and years and years and years, over decades, right? And ever since World War II, essentially, you've got this world order established since World War II to try and prevent it from happening again, right? And essentially, everything is just being ripped up. It is just, totally and utterly, everything's been turned on its head, and it's almost like somebody's decided, you know what, let's just give this all a shake and see what falls out, and it's like, okay, do that with the small business, but you don't do that with the world economy, where I don't know, maybe I'm too much of a my moral compass is left leaning, as Jonathan would maybe describe, although I do feel as I'm actually more of a centrist myself on a lot of my policy feelings, but I just think you're talking about removing what a lot of people feel is the foundational pillar of the world order right now. And it's like, okay, well, everyone's just going to grab hold and save themselves. And what happens when everyone goes insular? What happens when everyone goes, selfish? It can only end badly. But what do I know?
I'm definitely very centrist as well. We've got the election coming up here. They always put out those things where you can do the fill it out and then find where you are. Yeah, I'm literally dead center in the middle of the thing, like dead on. So I think the other larger thing is I think they're trying to front run it, knowing that China is coming for them. This was kind of the same thing in the first Trump presidency. With a number of the policies that he was putting in, they kind of got disrupted by COVID coming in and derailing a bunch of stuff. But if you sort of calculated a couple things, sorry, I just got to shift this trade here. If you calculated a number of things, if all of it went through, it would have put enough brakes on China that mathematically they can't get ahead of the US and they can't take over, because they'll still
Yeah.
have a bit of strength now, but then once you start getting the further population declines, then they're completely cooked. So unless they get a massive technological advance, it's mathematically impossible for them to take over. And I think now the AI stuff is worrying them, that they thought that the US would always have the leg up, but now they are making advances in that kind of stuff. They're taking over vehicles, everything. That's distorting Europe. If you then have Europe still being strong, you can kind of team up and maybe still knock them off the block. But if you're all weak across the board and then it's just China, and they completely rework Africa and make Africa the new China.
Mate, sorry. Pretty major news. Pope Francis has died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just news out from the Vatican on Reuters.
I'm not 100% familiar with all the popes' names. Didn't the previous pope also die like at Easter last time? Or that might have been one before.
The previous pope stepped down due to ill health. Normally they stay until the end, until they basically remain pope until they die. But the previous one, Benedict, basically stepped down and retired, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he passed away a while ago. It was Pope John Paul II that, prior to him, that was the last one to actually die whilst pope. So yeah, well, there you go. Easter Monday, and the Pope has passed away. So
yeah,
so there you go. And JD Vance only saw him last week, apparently. So conspiracy theorists will start throwing that around now as well.
I think JD Vance is too. He'd be too on his side. He's very family first, and all this kind of stuff.
Akram, I would say it's major news for the Catholic world for sure. So in Europe, it's major world. If you're in a Catholic country like Poland, for example, that's pretty major news. So in that respect, it is. I mean, it's not political news necessarily, of course not, but it is pretty big news given the timing. Easter Monday and everything else. And Raphael, I have no idea what scandal Starmer is involved in, but all these politicians are involved in something, so it doesn't surprise me. Guys, that is it from us for today. It has been a unexpected pleasure to join you this morning on this rather weird Monday morning, but we will be back. Once again, I will have coffee, so I will be more with it and have some kind of understand it.
Functioning frontal lobe.
Well, I'm not sure I'll go that far, but I'll at least be able to make some kind of sense as to what I'm talking about. No worries at all, Akram. Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't happen very often. So yeah, now the big thing will be choosing the next one. I'm not a practicing Catholic. I was raised a Catholic, but I'm not practicing, so it's not something that's going to be significantly impactful for me. But no doubt it will be pretty impactful around places like South America and stuff like that. So guys, have a great rest of your Monday. If it's a national holiday, then enjoy it. If it's not, trade safe. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
See where the week takes us.
Amen.